Hello there. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Tea with C. I am Sierra Brown, educator, author, and speaker. Thank you for joining me on tonight. And happy spring. Today is the first day of spring. It's my favorite season, so I'm excited. The weather right now in the DMV is a little, not spring-like, but it's all good. We're going to work it out. And I'm having a little bit of trouble with my Wi-Fi, I think because of all the heavy precipitation that's coming down right now. So we'll hope that this video, this live continues and it doesn't cut out. All right, so let's recap on what we talked about last time on Tea with C. So 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we talked about playing small. All right, we talked about no longer playing small, and we talked about identifying and activating our purpose, right? We also talked about how what God placed on the inside of us is something unique, authentic, and valuable that nobody else has. So only you can do what God has placed in you to do. Only you can fulfill that purpose that God has given you. We also talked about on last Tea with C about comparison, and we said how comparison is basically a thief. Comparison is a thief. It will steal your joy. It'll leave you, feeling like you're not doing enough or you're not enough. It'll even get you to the point of where you're stagnant because you're comparing yourself to other people. And we also kind of talked about staying in your lane and not really focusing on what someone else might be doing or how many things they're doing within your purpose. But it's not a competition. It's about what you're doing with what God has given you, your gifts and your talents and all that good stuff. All right, so today we're going to talk about vision and actions. So we're going to talk about vision and actions. And I have a question because I always ask you all the question each time. And tonight my question for you is, are your actions deficient? Are your actions deficient? So many of you know I'm an educator. I have second graders. And as an educator, one thing I strive to do with my boys and girls is I encourage them daily to set goals, right? To set goals, to have goals, to dream big, and to crush all the goals that they set for themselves. And I always tell people all the time that you're never too old or you're never too young to dream, right? You're never too young or you're never too old to dream or to set goals or to visualize yourself somewhere beyond where you are now. It's never too late and it's never too early. So let's talk about dreams, goals, and vision real quick. So dreams, goals, and vision. So your dream. So a dream is pretty much when you contemplate or you think about something, right? You contemplate or you're pondering something, the possibility of something happening or something being the case. So it's kind of like your initial, right? It's that initial thought that you kind of get like, oh man, it would be cool if I did this. Oh man, what if I did that? Like you're kind of dreaming, you're contemplating it, right? That's that first little ooh that you get. Your goals. So your goals are kind of defined by the object of a person's ambitions or effort. So the object of a person's ambitions or effort. So it's the aim or the desired goal or the desired result, I should say. That's your goal. That desired result. Those are your goals. So those are kind of like the bullseye or the target. So that's where you say, ooh, I want to get here, or I want to do this, or I want to experience this, right? That's kind of that target, that center, and you're aiming for that. And then vision. So vision is more so, it's a mental image of the future, where you see yourself in the future or what the future could be like. And vision is God-given, right? It's God-given and it's tied to your purpose. So it's important that we know our purpose, which is why if you didn't catch the last Tea with C, just click on my profile and by all means go check out the last Tea with C, because we did talk about purpose, activating our purpose, identifying our purpose. So your vision is God-given and it's usually tied to your purpose. So vision is kind of like the umbrella, right? Vision is kind of like the umbrella. It's the big thing. It's the big thing in which your vision and in which your goals and your dreams fall under, right? So it's almost like your dreams and your goals are the little handle, and then your vision is the actual top part of the umbrella, right? So all those things underneath support your vision, the thing that God is giving you, that big picture. It's almost as if God is fast forwarding you and kind of giving you a glimpse. Like, okay, this is it, right? This is what we're going to do. This is what it is. So it's like he's fast forwarding you to the end, or the destination of where he's trying to get you, or where he wants you to be. So vision, like I said, is usually tied to your purpose. And Jeremiah 29, one of my favorites. We all know it, but it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, saith the Lord," or says the Lord, right? So when God gives you a vision, this is what's so awesome about him. When God gives us a vision, he doesn't just throw us out there and leave us there. Like, okay, I showed you, right? I showed you this big picture. Now you go and you figure out how to do it. You figure out how to achieve what I showed you, right? So he doesn't do that. When God gives you a vision, he knows that you're not going to automatically get there from A to Z, right? And it's because in that process, God builds us, right? He builds us in the process of getting from one thing to the next. So the process is always important. So you're not going to always go there like that. So God has a plan. So he already has people, he has resources, he has experiences already lined up for you that will help you achieve this big thing, this vision that he has given you and placed in your spirit. And of course, that requires faith. Of course, that requires obedience, and it requires action. Okay, so let's talk about the action piece, because earlier I asked you, I said, are your actions deficient? Right? Deficient means there's a shortage. There's a shortage there. So are your actions deficient? So the distance between your vision, that big thing, and your reality, your now, is action. I'll say it again. The distance between your vision and your reality, your right now, is action. So we are our only limit, right? We are our only limit. So once you have the vision, God is placing in your spirit, he's kind of showed you this thing. Wow, God, that's what it's going to be. And remember, vision is kind of a mental image. You got to see it. You got to see it. You got to internalize it. See it before you actually see it. Meaning before you see the actual manifestation of it with your own two eyes, right? So once you have the vision, now there comes that plan. You got to have a plan of action. So you can't just keep it on the inside. Okay, this is what it is. You got to have a plan of action on things you're going to do to help you get there. And the frequency of those actions vary. Not all the time is it going to be bam, 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 bam. I'm grinding. It's not going to always be like that. Sometimes those actions, there's some breaks in between. There's a little slowdown in between. It's not as fast paced all the time. And that happens. Sometimes we get in neutral. We get in neutral, kind of like a car. We get in neutral, and just like a car, you need to push. When a car is in neutral, you got to get behind it and push. And sometimes, we get in neutral, but just make sure you don't get in park. Always be willing to go forth. Amen. Always be willing to go forth. So you have your vision. So now it's time to come up with that plan of action. So how are we going to get to where God has shown me? How are we going to get to this vision? So that's where you come in with goals. You got to have goals, kind of break it down to get to the big thing. So let's say you visualize yourself losing weight, right? You visualize yourself losing weight, or maybe you visualize yourself being more toned, or even a little bit more bulky. Maybe you want to bulk up. I just saw Black Panther finally. So maybe you're like, trying to bulk up like some of those characters in that movie, right? So that's your vision. Man, I see myself, just cut or snatched, right? That's your vision, right? So now that you have the vision, now you need a goal. Okay, so let me break it down a little bit more. So what's my goal? Okay, my goal is I want to lose 40 pounds. Or my goal is I want to gain 10 pounds of muscle, right? Or whatever your goal may be. So I've got my the big vision. Oh, I want to slim down, or I want to bulk up. Now I've got my goal. It's more specific. I want to lose 40 pounds, or I want to gain this much amount of weight, right? So now that you have your goal, you've kind of got to break it down to your plan of action. So now what are you going to do to lose that 40 pounds if that was your goal? Or what are you going to do? What are your actions that you're going to do in order to gain that 10 pounds of muscle? It might be, okay, I'm going to reduce my caloric intake by 300 calories a day. That's going to help me get there to my goal. And then once I reach my goal, bam, I can see what I saw, right? I can see what I saw, all smaller or whatever it may be. Or you might say, okay, I'll lift weights 3 times a week, right? That's going to help me get to my goal of bulking up, and bam, now I see it. It's manifested. I'm cut, right? So like I said, your vision is like the umbrella, and your goals, your dreams, and your actions are that handle that kind of supports it and helps to bring it into manifestation. So again, we have to look and make sure that our actions, what we're doing, is not deficient and it's not keeping us from, reaching what God has shown us, that amazing thing, whatever it is that God has placed in our spirit or shown us that it is to be or what is to come. One more example. Let's say you have the vision of being an author, right? You see yourself being an author. You see your name on the bottom of a book by so-and-so, right? That's your vision. Wow, I see myself as an author. I see that, right? So now that you see that, you have the vision. What's your goal? Okay, my goal is to write 2 books. I want to write 2 books. Okay, great. You have your goal. You want to write 2 books. Now, what's your plan of action? What are you going to actually do to make sure these 2 books get written? Okay, you know what? Maybe I need to take some workshops on writing. Perfect. Let me write that down. Let me pencil that in and get some things started. Maybe I need to network with other authors. Ask them how they did it. How was the process? Maybe I need to sit at someone's feet for a little bit and learn a little bit. Okay, great. Or maybe my goal is, okay, I'm going to write 10 pages a week of this book. You see what I'm saying? Like, there is a plan of action that you have put in place that's going to help you reach that goal, which is supporting you to get to this overarching vision. Right, so one thing for me is on the onset of every new year, I like to set goals for myself. I like to kind of sit down. I'm very reflective. I'm a very reflective person. So I like to kind of sit down, look at where I am, look at where I want to be. And I just have a nice conversation with God. Like, okay, God, what do you want me to do in this upcoming year? What is it that you want me to accomplish? What is it? So it's always spirit-led. It's always spirit-led. So I sit down and I kind of have that conversation with the Lord, and he gives me direction in what he wants me to do, and all those things that he gives me, it's always supporting the broad vision that he's given me. It's like these little stepping stones that, oh, okay, I can see how that God is going to get me to where you showed me this. So it's like these little building blocks that get you to the big thing. So this year I did something different. Besides just kind of thinking about it and writing a couple things down, I actually made a vision board. And I had, I've heard about vision boards and people making them all the time. But this year, this 2018, actually it was New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, so December 31st, I sat down and I created a vision board. And I did mine on a computer. And I printed it out and blown it up into like this big board that I have posted in my bedroom so I can see it. So I can see every day the things that I said I was going to accomplish within this year. And it's very helpful to see it. It kind of gets it out of just here and it gets it in sight. So every time when I do something, I'm checking myself like, all right, Sierra, are you working towards these goals or not? Is what you're about to do going to help you check something off, or is it hindering what, the Lord has told you to do this year, those goals? And I even put down some desires on my board, just some personal desires that I wanted to achieve this school year. I'm sorry, not school year, this new year. And again, all those things, though, they were in support. These goals, these actions were still in support of the broad vision that God has given me. So it's nice to kind of have this visual of what it is that I want to achieve. And then once I had that, I was able to break it down. Okay, Sierra, your goal is to do this. Now, what's your goal? I'm sorry, your vision is to do this, or this is what you want to do. So what's the plan of action to get there? What's your plan of action to get it done? So one thing I put on my vision board this year is speaking. So God gave me the vision of speaking, and I can see it. Like, I see like conferences, and I see like a stage, I see like people, like that's what I see. But that's not where I am now. So I said, okay, God, you gave me that vision. Thank you, Lord. I see it, I receive it, it is so. So I said, okay, that's the vision that the Lord has given me. So now what goals or what plan of action can I put in place now to help me get there, to make sure that I'm in line to get where God has shown me this vision. So in that reflection, that time with the Lord before the start of the new year, he gave me this. He gave me T with C. So I put that on my vision board. I said, okay, God, I'm just going to start speaking. I'm just going to start speaking. It's not at that level yet of what you showed me. It's not the stage. It's not the conference. But I'm going to start speaking, God. I'm just going to speak. That's my goal. I'm going to just start speaking. So I actually put that on my vision board of something that I just wanted to achieve, I wanted to do. And I'm grateful for T with C. I'm grateful for, the people who tune in and the feedback that I get. I certainly appreciate you. Another vision, and this one is not so much kingdom business, but like I said, I had some personal desires. So one desire for me, or the vision I saw for myself, was that I was going to be on somebody's beach this summer, right? That was a personal, I saw it, okay? I saw the crystal blue waters. I saw someone bringing me some cranberry juice with a little umbrella. I saw all of that. I said, okay, that's what I see. So I broke it down. I said, all right, Sierra, what are you going to do? What are your goals? What are your goals? So I broke it down small, and I said, you know what? I want to travel out of the U.S. this time. Like, I want to travel out of the country. I'm an Army brat. So my dad was a sergeant in the Army. My dad served almost 10 years. So I've been all over within the U.S., but I have never been outside the country. So I said, you know what? My goal this summer, is that I want to travel outside of the country. That was my goal. My vision, again, was I want to be on somebody's beach. I saw myself on the beach, right? So I broke that down. My goal was, okay, I'm going to go outside the country this year, right? So now I had to develop a plan of action. What am I going to do to make sure that happens? So I started talking to travel agents. I started making sure I saved a little bit extra so I can, financially be able to do it. And then I started talking to my girlfriends, and lo and behold, all of that vision to setting my goals, to having a plan of action, bam, I have a girls trip booked this summer to Jamaica, man. Hey, so I'm so excited. So I say all of that. You're probably saying, Sierra, what are you saying to me? I'm saying to you that it's great to have vision. It's great to have vision. It's needed. You got to kind of know where you're going, right? You got to see it before you actually see it. You have to see it before it actually manifests in the natural, right? But in order to get there, you have to set goals, and you have to have actions that support those goals. You got to be doing something. Back to what I said earlier, the frequency of those actions vary. You're going to have seasons where it's just grind, right? And then you're going to have seasons or periods in your life where it's a little bit slower. It's a little bit slower, but you're still going. You're still working towards your goals and seeing that vision that God's given you, seeing it manifest. So I encourage you to write it down. You have to get it not just in your brain, not just in your spirit, man. Of course, you need it there. You got to receive it here before you could actually activate it or it to come to pass. Yes, but I encourage you to get it out on paper. Set yourself some guidelines, some deadlines. I want to do this by this date, and this is what I'm going to do to make sure that happens. So kind of put a plan and action in place to help you achieve your goals that you have in life. And you got to see it before you see it, but we do know that faith without works is dead. So you got to do something too, right? You have to do something too. So dream it, absolutely. See yourself there. Wow, that'd be so cool, God. Dream it, absolutely. After that, go ahead, set those goals. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Set those goals. After you have those goals, get your action plan. This is what I'm going to actually do to accomplish this. I'm going to attend these workshops. I'm going to network. I'm going to go to this conference that I normally wouldn't go to. I'm going to, whatever it might be. I'm going to study my word more. Whatever it is that's going to help you to achieve your goals and see what God has for you, that vision. Amen. So thank you so much for joining me on today. Kind of short today. It's snowing. I'm about to enjoy my night. They actually call for no school tomorrow, so this teacher has tomorrow off. So I'm excited about that. Thank you again for joining me for another Tea with C. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you in 2 weeks from today. Good night, everybody.